there were a couple things I didn't quite have enough time to talk about on Thursday with our review, and that's knowing the difference of solving an equation with a trig function and the arc value of like sine, cosine, tangent. So I want to quickly go over the differences. Now, if you have an equation like we see on the left, sine of theta equals negative half, and let's say we restrict the values from 0 to 2 pi. That's kind of what we've been doing a lot of times. We go to the unit circle, I look at the y values, I see where the y values are negative. And you can see that it's here and it's here. So for this particular answer, it's pretty straightforward. Theta would be 7 pi over 6, or theta could be 11 pi over 6. Again, if that is restricted to 0 to 2 pi. Now, if it wasn't restricted, remember we would add 2 pi n because it coterminal angles throughout the whole thing. The thing I want to emphasize most is the idea of arc cosine, or even arc tangent, or arc cosine. Remember, when we talk about arc sine, it has to do with the idea that we have the sine graph, but this means inverse. And in order to have an inverse, it has to be a one-to-one function, which means it has to pass the vertical line test and the horizontal line test. This easily passes the vertical line test, but it fails the horizontal line test multiple times. So what happens is, instead of looking at the entire sine graph, you only look at the sine graph from here to here. So we cut off everything over here, we cut off things over here, and now we have this snippet, which passes both the vertical and the horizontal line graph or test. This right here is negative pi over 2. This right here is pi over 2. This is the first quadrant. This is the fourth quadrant, but again, it's not the fourth quadrant in the sense of 270 to 360 like we see over here. It's going backwards in the idea of 0 to negative 90. So a couple of things. If we ask about what the graph looks like, this is 0, 0. This is pi over 2, comma 1. And then this is negative 1, negative pi over 2. And inverse equations means that you switch the x and the y's. So 0, 0 is here. But if I switch this, this is 1 comma pi over 2. So 1 comma pi over 2 would be over here. And then negative pi over 2, negative 1 would be here. But instead of the concavity kind of going like that, it's more going to go like this. Okay. Cosine would be similar, but cosine or the arc cosine would be above the y. So again, it's limiting it and reversing it, the x and the y's. Now, going back to this idea, solving this right here. If I'm thinking about solving the arc sine of negative 1/2, I'm still going to look at my unit circle, and I see that arc sine is here, or negative 1/2 is here, and negative 1/2 is here. But neither one of these fit within this dimension of negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. Eliminate it to quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. This one isn't even in quadrant 4, so we're going to get rid of it. This one is in quadrant 4, but I can't think of it as 11 pi over 6. This is negative pi over 6. And that falls within this increment of negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So this is the only answer. So again, if I'm solving on the left for just a regular equation, I'll probably get 2 answers from 0 to 2 pi. When it is arc sine, arc cosine, arc tangent, you will only get 1 answer, and that answer needs to be within the appropriate domain of things.